The blackness. The blackness. Keep on. Peace and love to the family. I had you a throwback. Sounds of Blackness. Of course, I do not own the copyrights of that classic song. Listen, I'm glad y'all tuned in yet another video. I'll be going in on these videos, you gotta admit, it's just what it is. I appreciate y'all for watching. Yeah, it's your boy Corbin reporting live. Now on this one, I want to talk about the creator of this world. He goes by many names. Yahweh, Emmanuel, El, Tetragrammaton. So many names, God. But I want to focus on God's Bae. Did you know that God had a wifey? Now in church we always was taught, put no one before God. There's only one God. God told you, put no other gods before him. But he never said that there were no other gods. He just told you, you better not put no other gods before him. And you better worship him and give him all the praise if you expect to go to heaven. If not, your ass going to get cast down and you're going to go to heaven. Right? That's what it says, right? Let me read you something from your Bible. May I? Let's go to Jeremiah 7:18, shall we? And don't worry, this is going to go into what I want to bring to y'all tonight. Jeremiah 7:18. The children gather wood, the fathers light the tire, and the woman knead the dough, and make cakes to offer to the Queen of Heaven. Let me read that again just in case. This is Jeremiah 7:18, and it reads, the children gather wood, the fathers light the tires, and the woman knead the dough, and make cakes to offer to the Queen of Heaven. Now, before I continue reading, family, we were always taught in church that God said, put no other gods before me, for I am a jealous God. Did you know about a queen in heaven? Now, this is off of your book. This is no pseudo shit. I got this straight from your word. This is Jeremiah. So let me read on. Jeremiah 7:18. The children gather wood. The fathers light the tree. The fathers light the tire. The children gather the wood. The fathers light the tire. And the women knead the dough and make cakes to offer to the Queen of Heaven. They pour out drinks offering other gods to arouse my anger. Who anger? This is God talking. These are God's word. This is the Bible. This is Jeremiah. So let's read that again in its whole. Theatrics and everything involved. This is God speaking. So I want to give that theatrics with it. Excuse me. The children gather wood. The fathers light the tire. And the women knead the dough and make cakes to offer to the Queen of Heaven. They pour out drinks offering to other gods to arouse my anger. Interesting. See, God is angry when you worship other gods, guys. He just said that. Now, we're not done with some Bible quotes. I got some more Bible quotes for y'all. Let's go to Psalms 16:4. Let's go to Psalms 16:4. And it reads, those who run after other gods will suffer more and more. I will not pour out libations of blood to such gods, or take up their names on my lips. Interesting. So family, especially my family that are still in church, still worshiping, you know what it is. We have been taught to worship and praise God. Jesus was the messenger, right? He was the third party. He was the middleman. Who was the middleman? Scratch the third party. He was the middleman to God. All right? God said, put no other God before me, for I'm a jealous God. But why is he jealous? So, Queen of Heaven. So there's a Queen of Heaven now, guys. Have your pastor ever talked about that, guys? A queen in heaven? When they did the Lord's Prayer, did they say anything about a queen? I give this day my daily bread. I can't remember. That should have saved my life. But I don't think nothing was mentioned of a queen of heaven. So let's find out who this queen is, shall we? There was an ancient goddess back in the day, guys, who was side by side with God, Yahweh. Shout out to my Israelites, brothers. There was a goddess who was side by side with Yahweh in those times, who was worshipped alongside of our God, Yahweh. Let's read upon her. Did you know that? No? That's all good. Now, before we go into who God's Bae was, let's look up this word consort so we can get a clear definition of what consort means before Corbin goes any further, right? Consort. It reads a wife, husband, or companion, in particular the spouse of a reigning monarch. Now we know what consort means. Now, let's go deeper into God's Bae, or his wifey. And her name, Asherah. Her name, Asherah. How do you spell that? Are you ready? I'll give you about, forget it. You can just rewind the video at leisure. A-S-H-E-R-A-H. Asherah. Once again, that's A-S-H-E-R-A-H. Almost like Ra at the end. Asherah, who in ancient Semitic religion is a mother goddess who appears in a number of ancient sources. Let's go down further and see what it says about Asherah. Asherah is identified as the queen consort of the Sumerian god Anu and Ugartic El, the oldest deities of their respective pantheons, as well as Yahweh, the God of Israel and Judea. She was identified as the queen consort of the Sumerian god Anu and Ugartic El, the oldest deities of their respective pantheons, as well as Yahweh. So just to put you up on game, when God in the Bible said, for I am a jealous God, put no other gods before me, these are the two gods that he was talking about, or at least two of them. There were many more. Anu and Ugarticl. The oldest deities of their respective pantheons, as well as Yahweh, the God of Israel and Judea. Now, in further reads, it says, this role gave her a similar high rank in that pantheon. This role gave her a similar high rank in the pantheon, so she was up there with God. She wasn't no servant She was in high rank, a woman in high rank beside God. This is already breaking news. TMZ, where you at? Asherah. Let's continue on. Despite her association with Yahweh, in extra biblical sources, Deuteronomy 12 has Yahweh commanding the destruction of her shrines so as to maintain purity of his worship. Let's read that again. Now, this is the God that we go on Sundays, Bible study, Sunday school. This is the God that we give all of our energy to. I just want you guys to be clear of this, if you're out there listening. This is the God, the same God that you guys go and give your energy to. So let's see what this God did. This role that she had of Queen Consort gave her a similar high rank in the same pantheon with Yahweh. Despite her association with Yahweh in extra biblical sources, Deuteronomy 12 has Yahweh commanding the destruction of her shrines so as to maintain purity of his worship. Now, did the phone just turn on me, or was that me? For God is an awesome God, he ran. And I just want to go to Deuteronomy 12 and see what it says, if you guys don't mind. It says, in Deuteronomy 12, I'm reading on it, it says, Moses set before the Israelites the choice between blessings and curse. Moses instructed the Israelites in the laws that they were to observe, including the law as a single centralized place of worship. Moses warned against following other gods and their prophets and set forth the laws of kashrut, tithes, the Sabbatical year, the Hebrew slave, firstborn animals, and the 3 pilgrim festivals. God damn you, Moses. And we go to church and we are taught who? Moses' story, Moses' side of the story, Abraham's side of the story. The people that wrote the Bible aren't the people of the time. They're the people who control the people of that time. Do you get what I'm saying? The people of that time didn't get a chance to tell their story. And if they did, their story was wiped out by the Vatican or burned by Alexandria in the Alexandria Library. Let me read that again, what Deuteronomy 12 says, and what Moses did. Moses set before the Israelites the choice between blessings and curse. Moses instructed the Israelites in the laws that they were to observe, including the law of a single centralized place of worship. Moses put all this shit in order, guys. This is why you praise him. This is why you give thanks to Moses as well. Including the law of a single centralized place of worship, Moses warned against following other gods and their prophets, and set forth the laws of kashrut, which is spelled Kashrut, kashrut, the tithes. Moses did all this, which is now in churches, which you worship, which you follow, which you are programmed to do. So let me read this again. You gotta get this through, and I'm gonna go back to Asherah. Moses set before the Israelites the choice between blessings and curse. I'm going to give you a choice. Either get down or lay down. It's pretty much what Moses did. Because mind you, Moses had the powers. He was given the commandments, right? So all the people going to automatically think he's the chosen one. So his law goes. You feel me? So that's what Moses did. Moses set before the Israelites the choice between blessings and curse. Get down and lay down. Moses instructed the Israelites in the laws that they were to observe, including the law of a single Moses instructed the Israelites in the laws that they were to observe, including the law of a single centralized place of worship. Moses warned against following other gods and their prophets and set forth the laws of kashrut, tithes, and the Sabbatical year, the Hebrew slave, firstborn animals, and the 3 pilgrim festivals. And it goes on a list of other shit. So let's go back to where we were. Despite her association with Yahweh, Asherah, and despite her association with Yahweh in extra biblical sources, Deuteronomy 12, we just read, has Yahweh commanding the destruction of his shrines so as to maintain purity of his worship. Now listen what I just said here. Yahweh commanding. Now who took those commands? Moses. So what did Moses just did? What we just read in Deuteronomy 12. And that had an impact on latter days to where we at now, to where you are at now in your church, praising this God. When this God that you praise in church took down the worship of a divine woman. So when I said that there is a imbalance in the world due to hypermasculinity, do you start to understand? Do it start to make sense now? Just a little? So once again, Deuteronomy 12 has Yahweh commanding the destruction of her shrines so as to maintain purity of his worship. The name Dion or Dion, which is spelled Dione, which like Elat, which is spelled Elat, means goddess, is clearly associated with Asherah in the Phoenician history. Because the same common word, pretty much, the goddess par excellence we used to describe her in the book of Jeremy. So let's read a little bit more, see if we can get a little bit more history of Asherah. Let's see what we got a little bit more of. Episodes in the Hebrew Bible show a gender imbalance. Holy shit. Did you guys read that? Did you hear that? I read it. Did you hear it though? Episodes in the Hebrew Bible show a gender imbalance. In Hebrew religion, Asherah was patronized by female royals such as Queen Mother Maach, and that's Maacah. 1 Kings 15:13. But more commonly, perhaps Asherah, who was worshipped within the household, and her offerings were performed by family matriarchs. As the woman of Jerusalem attested, when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour out drink offerings to her, did not our husbands know that we were making cakes impressed with her image and pouring out drinks offering to her? This is Jeremiah 44:19. Now we read Jeremiah 17:8, or was it 7:18? Excuse me. Now what did Jeremiah 7:18 say? The children gather wood, the fathers light the tire, and the woman knead the dough and make cakes to offer to the Queen of Heaven. They pour out drink offerings to other gods to arouse my anger. This is God. But here's the woman now. When we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour out drink offerings to her, did not our husbands know that we were making cakes impressed with her image and pouring out drink offerings to her? This passage corroborates a number of archaeological excavations showing altar space in Hebrew homes. The household idols variously referred to in the Bible may also be linked to the hundred of female pillar-based figurines which have been discovered. I'm just going to end there for the night. Because I think I gave y'all a lot to think about tonight in just only 19 minutes going in. Everything in this planet comes from the womb man, comes from the woman. Like I told you before, the Hebrew word for matrix is the womb. So all my Matrix fans out there, look at that movie again and see how much it compares to the womb. In great detail. I discussed in other videos about the hypermasculinity that we have in this world and the fall of the mother. These movies put it in the movies. There's this cartoon, 15%. I ain't gonna carry on too long. There's this movie called I can't think of it now. It's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say Mulan. and I'm probably mess it up, but it's the one with the rock in it, and Maui, and that story, peep out that story. I can't think of it, but it's based on tribal. It's a Disney Pixar movie, but peep out that movie with the rock in it. He's playing a character in there as well. And I say, hey, you're welcome. That one, yeah, great song. There's truth in these movies. That's what I always tell you guys. But we are at a time where you're going to see the rise of the mother back on her throne. That's why you see so much going on, confused sexualities out there. Because the mother, the divine feminine, has not been given her just due. So that trapped feminine energy is going to get its just due some way or other in this world. Mother Nature, nurture, nectar. You cannot trap or imprison the feminine energy. As many have tried. And they only temporarily succeeded. But now we are in the rise of the mother, the rise of the divine feminine. And for the people who know how to use that magic, for us masculine men who understand the appreciation of the balance, this is a great time for us. But most importantly, for the women out there who know that they are more than just to be in churches, giving their energy, giving their goddess energy to a deity who I just read to you did everything to make sure that feminine energy was not being worshipped. But if you notice in church, family, if you notice in churches, one of the biggest servants of the God that people go to church to pray to now is women. Don't get me wrong, men are definitely worshiping God, but a lot of women just really go and are really there or have really been supportive of God off of the love for the mother. As a man who mother myself, who is a Christian, that love for your mother is just it's divine. It's undescribable. Really, it's just that love that a man has for his mother is it's undescribable. Right? So how in the world can you deny the divine feminine energy? A man is going to follow anything either from the love of a woman or for the love of his woman or for the love of his mother. A man's going to follow anything for the love of his woman or for the love of his mother. A woman, same thing, for the love of her man or for the love of her father. Most every woman, the first love she has is the love of her father. Her father love. For the woman who didn't have a father growing up, they picked it up somewhere else. So God is the ultimate father for them. Do you understand? God is the ultimate father for them. For us men, our mother is the ultimate love. But since the mother doesn't get that much praise and worship in this world, in religions, especially, most definitely Christian religion. Now, of course, there are many religions outside of Christianity that put that divine feminine on a pedestal. But the man love for his mother, never can deny that. So you see a lot of sisters in church that go hard for their love for Jesus and God. You say the wrong thing, you might get your ass shot for playing around with God's name. With these sisters nowadays, they're not playing around. They'll leave your ass quick for God. Huh? Oh, you say you God, nigga, what? Psh, there's only one God, nigga. What is you talking about? I seen it happen. So you see this energy that you give to people like that, to entities like that, when you have Oshun, when you have Shiva, when you have Kali, when you have Marie, and I don't want to mess her last name up. She's a very powerful sister in New Orleans. when you have these goddesses, these witches that you can look up and worship and use them for healing power, fertility power, healing power, fertility powers. Goddesses you can access to heal. Mothers looking to be women looking to be mothers, There's goddesses out there that you can use for fertility. Because the woman is nature. Nurture. So it's time for you to be up on your game. And the problem is people don't like reading. I cannot stress this enough. Your lack of reading has you blind and been blind for years. So it's easy for you to go in that church and listen to somebody say something that you've been heard 1,000 times over and nothing really clicks for you. You just go in there, hear the same shit. The pastor's saying something good, a few chosen scriptures, and then you're out of there. Another day. And for my pastors and for my bishops and for you scholars out there, I don't claim no religious sect, but yet I do the work. And yet I know more than most of you guys do. And if I don't know more than most of you guys do, then you guys are not even trying to teach your congregation. You're not even trying to put people up on game. You're just giving them spoon-feds or you just give them half-assed knowledge, and I don't think that's right. I think people deserve more in 2020 because there's more. If you're going to talk about Moses and then you're going to talk about Abraham or you're going to talk about Noah, talk about Enoch. Talk about the Watchers. Talk about Enoch. Talk about the Watchers. Talk more about Melchizedek and the Brotherhood Order. Let's talk more about Atlantis, more about Lemurion, more about Atlantis, more about Lemuria, more about Meldek, more about Hedron. You guys ever heard of these places? Okay. Don't worry. I'm here now. Fear death for what, people? What are we fearing? The truth? You're afraid to die for the truth? People die all the time for less. Why fear death? Well, listen. I'm not going to tear you on too long. I hope y'all got just a little bit more than what you left with or what you came with. I hope you leave with more than what you came with. So, with saying that, it's always love, it's always peace, and it's always light, of course. Peace and prosperity to my family. Peace and love to y'all. Stay up on yours and keep it moving. This world can be whatever you want it to be. Just start creating and start manifesting. Peace and love to y'all. I'm out.